Beautiful. So it says we are live. Woo, 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 woo. Let's raise this a little bit.
I'm trying to see, since you're going live on your thing, I'm trying to see if I can share it. But
Yes.
are you going live from your own
Yes.
page?
On my page. Not my profile, my page. I think I accidentally did the event on my profile. And so
Okay.
I have to specify, oh no, it's actually on my page.
Okay.
Hi Tina. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, Tina.
This has been a little bit of a challenge to get this far in our
Yeah.
in our lives.
We had to do several trials. We had to go back and forth and back and forth.
Yes, we did. Hey Michelle. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for joining us
Hi,
on
Michelle.
Central.
Nice to meet you too.
Beautiful. So just give us a moment. Thank you for popping in first and foremost. For those of y'all who are here, please take a moment, share out if you can. Um,
Yes, please.
Unfortunately, we had a little bit of an adventure getting on the live, getting things together today because the energy just super wonky. I don't know what else to say. Vaishu reminded me earlier that this is the phase of the lunar eclipse, which is happening tomorrow night, right? And yeah, that's a lot of amplified energy right there, right? So it was definitely messing with the technology, with our connections. But we've been here, but now we actually manifested it, the visual.
Hi, Harmony. Yeah. It's that full moon energy, and you just like it's been like surging for the past few days, hasn't it? And it's been like full. I don't know if you felt it in your daily life too, Zay. Like, have you been feeling people like your interactions with them kind of revving up, kind of like getting intense and like getting more confrontational and like just
Yeah,
kind of
for,
coming to the
for me,
surface?
yeah, for me, it's been a little bit more, not even in interactions with people, but my interactions overall, like the energy behind all of the things that I have to do, like that intensity energy. It's the intensification of everything has been so right there on the edge. It's so like I've been like right there on my trigger points, like dancing that fine line of between snapping on people and all of this other human stuff. But I've definitely been feeling it. Definitely been feeling it. This is but it is a really good moment to uh bring up the topic of tonight, which is discernment, right? Even the fact that we're talking now, right, about what we've been feeling. What have y'all been feeling in the collective? Y'all are out there every day. Do y'all take time to actually take note of the energy around you? Um, Especially with so many of us who run around and identify as empaths. It's so important for us to be able to have that discernment and when we step outside in the street or in the mall, what the energy around us is happening and how that's affecting us because you can walk into some stuff at any moment and not actually be involved in any stuff, but the energy will still jack you up.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people, including myself, have been feeling like sudden waves of like anxiety or um, just fear. I mean, you're probably perceiving the collective fear that's happening in the atmosphere. Like if you go outside, there's this dense energy of this collective fear. But in addition to the moon's energies, everyone's kind of amping up their own levels and throwing out all kinds of energy they don't understand. So it's if you've been suddenly feeling angry, nauseous,
Right.
upset, irritated, that would make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Hi, Jen. Hi, Abuelita. Abuelita.
Abuelita, Abuelita,
Sorry
she's
if I
like,
said that wrong. Yeah.
I just got the accent now, and I know. So, Abuelita, Jen, Magic, Tina, everybody, welcome. Thank y'all for joining. If you can, feel free to share out. We're just actually diving in on this this deep dive discussion on discernment. But since we haven't even gotten around to doing introductions, I'm going to start this off since this is my platform. So we're going to start off with it's your boy Zay'P, Zay'P the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. And my beautiful guest tonight is the awesome Desert Wolf Star herself, Vaishu, who's joining us, who's an amazing channel. She's such an insightful, deep person. I love just getting into these really esoteric conversations with my sis here. So just yeah, I'm glad to be able to bring her back on the channel, on the page, and connect with y'all, and actually get into a little bit about this discernment stuff. But before we go there, why should please tell the people about yourself.
First of all, thank you for having me here. I love talking. I like our deep conversations. I feel like it's me personally being a Scorpio and everything. I don't do superficial conversations. And it's very easy to talk to you because it's not you're not scared of going in depth with issues and talking. So it's wonderful just being here. So thank you. Um, I do Reiki, sacred geometry, trying to find out stuff for myself pretty much. And I'm going to move. I recently found out what I found out I was scrambling around trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and I
Mm,
finally figured out a plan. I figured out how I want to move forward, and I'm actually physically moving as well. So,
really?
mhm.
Where we're moving? Where we're moving? Want to share? Want to share? You don't have to go public. You might not want to share people. So I just realized we're
I'm,
live and these are strangers, so
yeah,
you don't want to hold that down. I'll ask you. I'll ask you behind the scenes off air.
yeah. I'm moving though pretty soon here, so that's good.
That's awesome.
Nice shift, gravitational shift there.
Yeah. We're since we're the topic is discernment. Like, what was the pull there? Was from an energetic perspective, or from or was it more of just physical things like beyond whatever is apparent? What is the pull there that bring that you needed to like your own discernment led you to go in that direction and making that decision, making that choice?
So I did had to do a lot of deep shadow work, and because my energy was very scattered. I was like, I can do this and I can do that, I can do that. Well, I want to do a lot of things. Oh my God. And I had to really do some deep shadow work I had to sit there going, why did I want to move? Where do I want to move? Why do I even want to move there? What is my purpose? And I had to do that for almost a month, 2 months, and sit there and go, why am I trying to move? And then I figured out and I was like, okay, this is why I'm trying to move. These are my short-term goals. These are my long-term goals. And it just I had to like sit there and like listen to my soul instead of my logical mind where I was like, you can do this, and this, and you can do this in a year, and you can go ahead and this much money, and blah blah blah. And I had to sit with my soul and my emotional body and say, what do I feel like doing? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? And at the cost of not making enough money, as much money as I would make right now, would my happiness of doing something happy be more than the money that I'm making? Just a lot of inner questions I had to ask
Right.
myself, and then I was like,
So that self reflection, that pondering, which basically is what it always comes down to, like this is what we're doing moment to moment. But that self reflection and pondering led you to that place where you even the idea that you're choosing to make a sacrifice, or what some people might see as a sacrifice within the financial, for the sake of um the win, which is your overall happiness and the overall life you're wanting to create. Um, Even that takes such a level of courage and discernment to figure out, because that's like a life choice. So I gotta commend you. I gotta give you your kudos and your flowers. It's bold to do different things with your life. It's bold to live, but to live is what we're here for. So
right. I mean, I've been living in fear for so long, for all of my childhood, where I had people tell me what is for my highest good or what I had to do or what I should do. And I
mm,
think I just finally realized, wait, I can do whatever I feel like. So
yeah,
I was
right.
like, wait, let me just do what I want to do.
Beautiful, right? Exactly. Hey, Raquel,
Hey, Raquel. Hey,
Phyllis,
Phyllis.
thank you for joining. Um, so when the idea of courage and you know living life, this has been running through my head recently. um I can't remember who said it, but there's this quote where Well, basically everything in life is risky. We often walk through life wanting to take the safe route and wanting to place, whether it's play small, wanting to stay safe, wanting to be comfortable with, wanting to have assurances, just so we don't have to, deal with that fear and whatnot. Um, but we can never avoid it, like in a sense, because you play small, maybe you're missing out on some great things that your life could actually be, and that's a risk in itself. You go ahead and you take that leap and you go for it. Well, then that's a risk in itself. Whatever you're doing, you're risking something. So it's like this whole life thing, especially the idea of fear. Nobody's ever gonna get out alive. We're all gonna die. But what kind of risk do we take, and how do we figure out what we want to do? This brings me back to the idea of your own authentic truth, right? When we're being our unique selves, it really helps to inform us of how we want to move and exactly what we want to create and whether or not what risks are worth taking. What areas do we do want to dive into that fear, and that's where I think discernment is so important. And I see it play out in my life and in everybody's life on all these different levels of the energy and how that feels with like just the whole flowing through my emotional range. When I think about this idea, is there giddiness? Is there excitedness? Is there the bubble guts or a light? Or is it dread and, dragging my feet and I want to puke? And, it
Hey,
can be
Nicole.
both, both of those can, I think both of those can be very nuanced because those can be completely different experiences. And at the same time, for some person, they can be the same experience
But
where it's like, is this anxiety or is this excitement? Um,
but the thing is, though, if we're already at the place that we're at and we're not happy, the reason why we're even thinking about this is we're not happy where we're at. So the
mhm,
only thing that's stopping us from moving forward is fear more than anything else, right? I mean, so if you're not happy at the location that you're at, or the life, where I say location, I mean level, status, life, whatever you're at. If you're not happy with the place that you're at, then there's a 50% chance of you being happy at the new place, as
sure.
opposed to a 100% chance of you not being happy where you're already at, that you know. So why not take
Right.
that 50% higher, greater chance of being happy at that new possible chance that you're taking? It's just the fear that holds us back.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say that it comes down to necessarily being as extreme as not being happy though, because I think it could just be a space of wanting growth. I could be perfectly fine, have been here for and happy, and I'm still happy, but I still see more potential in myself that I want to do. More things that I want to grow into. Um, that are challenges, that are curiosities. They may not be as strong or whatever, but this is why we want to fine tune that discernment to be like, what is our unique expression here? How do we want to define ourselves in this particular scenario in these circumstances? I always go for leaning into it because I'm a whole live life kind of guy. Um, but there are definitely times where your unique expression might be to do something that somebody might judge as playing small, but it works for you. Um, I know people who like, I know women who chosen to be housewives and be mothers. And, you hear this counter feminist argument oftentimes where they will say, contrary to a lot of feminist thought, they'll say someone will be like, we want to be mothers and we want to be in the home and this is what brings us fulfillment. And while other people might project upon them and say, don't you want to be out and conquering the world and doing such and such? And she's just like, I just want the simplistic life of motherhood. And neither is wrong, but it takes your discernment, your own trust in self, and your own willingness to lean into your divine spark to actually hone in on that and what's your truth.
I
I
wouldn't
admire
call
anybody who's willing to do that.
I wouldn't call motherhood simple, but
No,
I
completely not. Completely
I
not. Completely
so
not.
I don't know. I agree that everyone should have like, because being feminist doesn't mean you have to go this way or that way. I think it's like a crude misconception that's media based, but it literally just
Yeah,
means being in your own right. So if being in your own right means what makes you happy, if that
yeah,
means taking care of your children, staying at home, that's fine. If it means
yeah,
going out there conquering the world, we're individually so separate and so unique. So
yeah.
it's really hard to say one would be easier or harder or simpler than the other. My main point would be following your heart, feeling what you want to do. If you are more
Discernment.
passionate, you discernment for that person,
Right.
because that person's personality, of course, varies.
But that's what discernment is, isn't it? Discernment for us.
Yeah.
I don't discern for you or anybody else. I mean, some people project it, they'll give you that. You need to be doing this. And this is, I feel for you that you should be doing. Wait a minute. How do you feel for me? What is the, that's, but yeah, we all need to be discerning our own paths. Um, which is why we're here reinforcing that theme.
Mm-hmm.
um, as we help to, others really pick up in their own sense of discernment. So how would you define discernment for you? Like if you was to define it, what is discernment
Oh,
to you, Vaishu?
um, first of all, hello, Leonie. Hello, Jen. That's
Yo,
amazing. You had the same conversation with your teen daughter the other day. Yeah, yeah. Teen daughters, I know. I don't have any kids myself. No, I don't have any kids myself, but yes, I understand. And hi, John. Thank you for the
I'm
love.
not sure how I feel about that comment, Jen. I'm like, I don't know. Hey, John.
um, I don't know. I don't have the obviously the Google definition of what discernment would be, but in my opinion of how I feel discernment is to not to see what's right for me, what feels right. Am I and I take several factors into consideration. Am I doing this for myself? Am I doing this for my ego because I want people to perceive me in a certain way? Or am I actually doing
Hmm.
this because I want to be happy? And while I'm doing this and trying to be happy, am I trying to overstep boundaries? Am I trying to step over people? Am I trying to hurt other people to get what I want? So I feel like the discernment to me feels like following my true heart, but at the same time also being aware of my surroundings. Who am I affecting? Because every choice affects me and everyone else around me.
Hmm.
So as long as I'm not hurting anyone to get what I want,
Mm,
um, I can move forward. As long as I'm not like I will do anything I need to do to get what I want. That's a no, hard no for me personally. So and then
hmm.
that's kind of like, am I doing this? Am I taking this job because it pays more money so I can have a bigger fancy car because maybe my family thinks it's more prestigious to have a nicer car, or am I actually doing this job because it makes me happy and I don't care having the smaller car? Like it's a lot of factors for me. What do I truly want, and am I harming people? The same thing I go with when I speak to people. Sometimes it's not always true and I can't always control it, but it's more of a, is it true? Is this statement true? Is it necessary? And kind of see, do I have to say it or not?
Right. Yes. I love that. um, and I feel like since that branches out, you really got into the realm of awareness, even beyond discernment, like just having awareness and being in harmony with life, being in harmony with the world around you. Which is these are definitely things that I teach in myself, the work that I do, and really reinforce that idea of wholeness in self to to commune or to remember with the oneness of all. And in that, definitely this is who I am. As I define myself, I'm a firehouse, powerhouse, fiery being, both, one and all in one. But at the same time, I'm in harmony with the world around me, and I'm not just a destructive fire everywhere, but I'm a fire that is one of creation. I'm a fire of passion. I'm a fire, my flame changes as appropriate to my surroundings. That I push that 100%, and it takes a lot of discernment to kind of be that flickering flame. I think,
Yeah,
that's
I agree with that statement completely because you can probably like feel, some of you can probably feel it, but like I'm a very like, I just kind of, if I see something, I just go. Like
yes,
I don't go, oh, I'll start in like 2 months. I'm kind of like, I want that. What do I need to do to get that? boom, let's put it into action kind of thing.
I
So
tell you,
it's
I'm super like wow, since I first even was introduced to you, like this is before we even made an actual connection, and just your growth even within this realm here, and just with your channeling and your connections. As soon as you was just like, oh, this I'm gonna go here now, and you that discernment that this was right for you, and it's such a beautiful fit because you bring through a lot of beautiful insights. So
thank you.
yeah, I see it. I see it.
um Anyone who's watching, hi Rita, not a
Uh,
wildfire, discerning discernment. If anyone has, if people have questions, please feel free to ask any question you have. There are no right or wrong questions,
yes,
and it's a safe space here, so feel free to ask questions.
and I do want
Um,
to get into the side of talking about discerning through energies because we did touch upon that earlier.
mhm.
And I know both of us work with energy specifically, whether we're channeling entities and beings, whether you're doing mediumship work, whether you're doing like energy healing and you're doing Reiki and you're going into the energy body. So, what's been your experience with all of that and learning how to kind of, um, work with your own sensory perceptions to discern as far as energy comes in?
Sorry. One of my guides is over here is like, tell him.
Yeah, tell me. Jesse, what's going on?
Sorry. Um, Hi Jesse. No, before, when I first started this process a few months ago, about a year ago, maybe now at this point, I couldn't feel energy. I couldn't. People would like, I'd have sessions with people and they'd be talking about stuff and they'd like try to do stuff and they'd be like this and they're like, could you feel this? And I'm like, no. And then they'd be talking about all kinds of stuff, and there'd be people like, on YouTube and Facebook going, the energies are dense today, and this and that, and I'll be like, that's cool. And now, like, I
I don't
gotta
feel
choose.
it, so it's not real to me. I get that. I
I was
was
like,
like
that's
that for a
great.
while too.
And they'd be talking about the collective, hi Melissa, collective energies and stuff, and I'd just be like, all right, that's great, dude, great. And now I gotta ever since I got into Reiki, and I've been doing more and more energy work, more healings, more growth for myself in this process. It's been kind of intense, to be honest. The last few months, especially, I feel a lot. I feel I understand what those people were talking about, and I have new profound respect for what they said because I couldn't feel it. So in my perception, it wasn't real. And
Right.
now that I can feel it and how intense it is, I have a new profound respect for everything that energy workers do. And it's because a lot of people are unaware of how energy works, just like I was. So they throw different energy. They have their shadow bodies, their multiple bodies, their other bodies. They'll be throwing anger, hatred, rage, and I can feel it and I can push it away and I can control it now. I can do better. Before I used to be a sponge and I'd just be like, in a corner,
Hmm.
crouching for days in pain because I just was like, oh my God, like I can't do anything about this.
Hmm.
Now I have a mentor and I got his help and everything. And yes, I know some people call that an empath, but um, it's just everything's been intensified, and no matter if I put boundaries up and everything, either telepathically or mentally, or there's so many different things where you can feel hatred, anger, envy, jealousy, when you can feel people trying to suck your
Hmm.
energy, vampires, energy vampires, as you are most familiar with this term at this time. And it's just stuff like that. And then even with the sexual energy, you procreate with the second chakra. The second chakra is a powerhouse of procreation. At the same
Hmm.
time, people do not recognize or are unaware of the fact of their sexual energy or their unhealed sexual trauma and how it presents itself in this day-to-day life. So when we go ahead and we proceed and we haven't healed certain stuff, and I'm talking about healers and non-healers as well, we are throwing those energies out and we can't discern if these energies are our own sexual energies, other people's sexual energies, or if it's a co-creative life force. Because that, again, second chakra is a very powerful co-creative life force, but it's also the place where you do your sexual energy and sexual healing as well. So if we
Hmm.
can't discern what we're throwing out throwing out massive amounts of sexual energy, which is a waste of doing that. You don't want to harness sexual energy. You then throwing it at people, you can keep it, harness that, and try to drive your future, drive your manifestations. People use the sexual energy to manifest certain things, which do not work in the way they think it works. And it's also it's like attacking people. So if you're very energetically sensitive, like some of us are,
Hmm.
uh, you are energetically attacking people. So it's like someone coming, and I'm not doing this to anyone, so please calm down. So it's like someone coming, it's like someone coming and touching you, actually. And then imagine if they're touching my shoulder, if they're touching this, like, it's like
Sure.
physical touching. And some of these are
Sure.
so,
You
some
feel
people
it.
are so psychic. So if you're
You feel it
imagining
on
certain
another level.
scenarios in your head and throwing out certain energies, that person can feel all the scenarios that you're imagining in your head, and you're
Mm,
bombarding them and sliming with them with sexual energy, which they later have to take off of themselves, which is psychically attacking them at some point, if you understand what I'm saying.
right. Well, I think this all that you're talking about really brings up this image of the discernment factor being twofold. So I see it's so important for even people who just for people to be discerning of what they're putting off. Because I think a lot of that will happen in a lot of different consciousness states, both really manipulative and skeevy, and really ignorant and almost naive, or just on varying levels to varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And then our own discernment of what energy we're coming into, right? And that ability to maintain our boundaries and keep up our energetic resonances, and know what's for us, what's not for us, who's putting out what, and how that's affecting me, and what I need to remove myself from or remove from my space. Um, so important, and I think it's it's a very nuanced thing, because it can become a slippery slope to where we start pushing out anything and everything out of our lives. And that also, this is why I feel like balance is key with all things. But that also can be a destructive habit if we just start pushing away everything because maybe we have a sensitive trigger or something like that. So we want to really fine tune on our discernment, as far as what's needed, what's not needed. Like, this person keeps coming around and they keep bringing this slimy energy. And at first I thought it was like this playful or naive, but then I see it's feeling more and more manipulative. It's time to push them out and keep them out of my space, or remove myself from their space. Um, Having that level and ability to gauge on the scale what's what, I think that's what kind of, in my mind, that discernment is the ability to really navigate the polarity scale of whatever scenario, circumstance, or energy that you are currently experiencing. Right, as we're able to kind of go through these motions and really like navigate, is this hot, is this cold, and gauge it up against our own preferences and our own experiences, and our and we're we're able to create a much more clear and easy flowing path for whatever we're trying to do. I feel like I hear about those like certain types of stories, and things like that, where it's really heartbreaking and just skeevy to hear like some of the things that I hear about. Um, and then I feel like at the same time, there's just like, I see another side of the coin of just like people not even taking care of themselves in a way, of just being like, I'm gonna throw myself in, not to say I'm gonna throw myself in whatever situation, but just not necessarily reading the energy, not necessarily acknowledging the information. Like, I think an idea like discernment is so important for somebody who's an empath, because as an empath, constantly going through life, absorbing things, and experiencing energies and emotional frequencies. And this goes beyond empaths, because this also goes into telepaths, where you're constantly going around picking up thoughts and mind fragments. So Discernment is so important because you need to understand what thoughts are really being generated by yourself, what thoughts are you walking into, what thoughts are coming in from divine inspiration. Same thing with the emotional energy as you're going through. But at the same time, what's often not talked about is that side of discernment to recognize what you're putting out. Sometimes people will have like energy leaks. Sometimes um, empaths will be putting out all sorts of energy, especially like pain bodies and different things of that nature, because they're absorbing so much and they don't necessarily know how to process what they're getting, and then they're walking around expelling and spewing, things all over other people, um, simply just from not even taking the time to start to become mindful about what their experience is, that discernment.
No, I
So
agree with you 100%.
I feel you. Yeah.
No, because I did that myself. That was an excellent point that you made, where I was like, at some point, I was feeling so much energy that I just blocked out anything. I blocked out everything because I just was like, everything was too much. And I got help for it. I'd gotten help to say, look, I need to put some protocols in place. And then I was calm enough where it wasn't so overwhelming being outside because I blocked off people telepathically. I blocked off people energetically. I just couldn't do it at that time.
Hmm.
And it was hard. It just was because I couldn't go past somewhere and not hear stuff, and then I didn't want to hear certain conversations, so I just pulled myself back, and that didn't work. I pushed them away sometimes, and at the end of the day, I had to go. Okay, I need to put certain protocols in place. So I had to talk to my higher self, put protocols in place where I didn't want to telepathically, psychically, unless I consciously was trying to communicate with them. That didn't happen. So I had put
Right.
a barrier or threw extra boundary in place through my higher self, for highest good, to only let the communication telepathically or other communication signs of energy or telepathic communication come through, that I am through my joy guide, through my special guide that I put in place.
Hmm.
You are my guide. You are my special guide that I've assigned for this. If you feel like I want to know about this, or if it's important to me in this situation to know about this thing, let me know. Otherwise, keep it out. I don't need to know, because I don't need to pick up everyone's energy, pick up everyone's thoughts. I don't need to walk to the gas station and hear this guy behind me. I don't need to know all that, So it's like
Yeah.
what I need to know, I'll listen to. What I don't need to know, not my problem. So that's how
I like.
kind of.
I think that's such a beautiful technique, like an approach, even in fine tuning your own personal discernment as an empath and a telepath, to be able to like assign a guide and have this filter there that's consistently letting in what's needed and keeping out what's not, holding that guard. That's a beautiful technique and approach. Melissa asked us some questions. She says, "How did you learn to balance it?" I think that technique is definitely one approach towards balancing um, with the discernment. Any other thoughts, Zaishu, on that?
I had to balance it because first, when I felt certain things, like when I feel people's energy, it literally feels like abrasive. It feels like they're touching me. So I had to be in a calm enough state. I avoided going out at all. So I had to go out in a calm enough state. And when I started going off center, I'd pull myself back to center, and then try to kind of my this is a teaching from my mentor, by the way, Dr. Susan Rossi. She'd pull us back to center. She'd be like, okay, now you're in a calm enough state. You're not like grounded AF all the way up, it's straddling the roof or the sky or wherever you're trying to do, or you're not trying to leave your body because you're so overwhelmed with all the energy. They're just like, fuck this, I'm out. So it's mastering being in body, being in center, and whatever is happening externally, looking at it as a viewer and not emotionally taking it on, going, oh my God, but to be like, oh, that's happening. Uh-huh.
Right.
Do I need to be involved? Like, it's being more of
Being
a
able to step into the observer.
viewer, not, yeah, be an observer. Thank you for that word. Being an observer rather being an active participant. And the guide that I was talking to you, where my mentor had put in place, there would be I had certain guides for protection, I have certain guides for this, I have certain angels for that, and I have a certain guide on my right hand who specifically handles all the main stuff and talks to the other guides.
Mhm. Yeah. So she said you answered it also previously. So
I saw
I
that.
think having that one approach with the one guide. I know for me, I'm a big student of the Dharma. I studied Dharma and was in practiced just Buddhist practices for quite a few years.
Okay.
Um, and with that, definitely I've become a very big student of mindfulness, the idea of mindfulness, and
Hmm.
just this kind of moment to moment, quote unquote, so to speak, uh, this moment to moment gauging or guarding of one's own mindful state, you know, where you're at currently and presently. And so really just having this openness and willingness to look at any particular moment. If I step into a moment of struggle and I feel out of balance, it lets me know to stop, take a breath, and take a beat if I need. If I need to take 15 minutes and if I need to go sit and meditate. I'm also a big meditator, so these things have really cultivated a space of stillness within me because I've been doing it for a long time. That said, it's having a practice and having that ability to kind of bring yourself back, recompose, just like when you're meditating and you're following the breath and you lose track and then you just bring yourself back. Once you're like, oh, wait, I was supposed to be following my breath, not thinking about this, you come back and that's it. And the more you're able to do that, the more you're cultivating that ability to remain balanced, that ability to kind of, oh, something's going
Oh,
haywire here.
the
Let me
energy
bring
was
myself
real. I
back and
just
see
got
what happened.
disconnected and rejoined. Melissa, I can try to ground your energy down, Melissa, if you'd like. Let me know. But it is the external energy as well.
If
But
you feel it, just if you feel called to it, you can
oh,
feel
I always ask
free.
for permission. I don't. So if you want me, Melissa, I can go ahead and do that for you. Oh,
Yes.
and speaking of which, we are in addition we will be talking, but if you want healings as well or card pulls, the healings I think they put up the price for, but if you just want a card pull, their card pulls are free. The healings,
Yes.
of course, are whatever he put the price down for um, on the description. Melissa, okay, let's find you.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
all
you for
right,
actually
okay,
bringing that up.
okay. Boop. Uh, don't fight me, Melissa. Let me in. There you go. Hi, friend. There you go. Are you feeling more in body now? There we go. I'm gently pulling you down. I think you felt the energy and you went boop. So I put you back in body and I'm pushing you back down now. There you go. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
I
go.
felt that. Um, I wanted to say thank you for actually bringing that up. Yeah, we're definitely willing to do some readings and card pulls afterwards if needed. I just wanted to mainly focus on this conversation discernment because I think that's a lot of key stuff coming up. And so the donations, if you really want a full on deep dive, but I figured, you know, that's going to be really safe for the end for those who really, really
Mm-hmm.
need it. Otherwise, we're just kind of here to engage. And, you know, if you want a card pull, if you want to just
Or
drop a comment, leave your thoughts, that's what
questions,
we're here
anything you need.
for. So definitely let us know. But well, okay.
Someone's
So
trying to move a house? Someone's deciding if they want to move out of their house? Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go. You're picking something up.
No. Hi, John. Hi, kids.
Hey,
Hi.
John.
Hi. No, so I was, like I said, I was talking about me, myself moving earlier. I was worried about like certain things such as finances, what job should I take? Is it really the best, highest good for me and stuff like that? Um, Rita shared, don't need a card. Love and Thanksgiving blessings. Same
Thank you,
blessings to
Rita.
you. Melissa, other thank you for sensing that and offering it. You're welcome. But yeah, if one of you is trying to move, oh, if one of you is trying to move and doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't they feel like you know what you're doing, just stop asking everyone around you for advice. They're not living your life.
Mhm.
You need to stop asking your uncle, your aunt, your friends, everyone else. It's like same thing when you're dating someone and you're like, oh my God, does he like me or does she really like me or does she not like me or what does this mean? If you're having to ask those questions, saying what does this one thing mean, and you can't just ask the person you're seeing what it means or it's not straightforward enough, those 10 other people are not in your situation. How are they going to know? It's the wrong question and the wrong people to ask. A, B, same thing with your home or whatever moving situation or whatever life decision you have to make. You can't ask other people because they'll give you their perception of it. And for example, I had a friend who had asked his uncle if he should move, and his uncle had went through a very bad experience of buying a home and everything. Another person goes through a very good experience of buying a home. They have individual decisions they make after buying the home. Where do they mortgage from? Where did they get the bank loan from? What is their credit? There's multiple factors to every single decision. You can't go on, you can't go and say, oh, Bob said this. Sorry, Bob's my go to. You can't go and say, Bob said this, Uncle Bob said this. Oh my God, it's the worst decision. I can't go buy a home now. I'm never gonna buy a home. Like, nah, bro.
Bob,
Like,
the expert who knows nothing.
Bob doesn't know. That was Bob's experience. You don't know where he was negligent, where he didn't listen to his intuition, where
Yes,
he ignored the signs. You don't know what mistakes he made. He's not going to tell you what mistakes he
I
made.
like that.
He's just going to say, "Oh, that was a shitty decision. Don't buy a home." And you're going to live your whole life. We don't know the skills or talents that you have, the intelligence that you have.
Yes,
You're going to be excellent by.
yes. I like what John just said about making decisions from your heart. I think that's totally true, but I do think it's good to balance that out with also the head sometimes, you know. Um, but again, that's that discernment. It's the scale, you know. You're coming in with that really, you know, you want to feel that heart energy and you want to bring in that divine knowledge, you know, that ability to kind of knowledge, not like actually overthinking, overstressing, wearing yourself out, but just actually being able to kind of connect and understand at whatever level and just really have that insight and fortitude from spirit to trust in your own knowing and leaning into
Hmm.
that.
And
Yeah.
you have all these skills that other people don't, though. I mean, you have all this knowledge and all this power, and all of you are really powerful out there and really smart, aren't you? So can't you make better decisions than the people that you're taking advice from?
There's no one more what's the word when you're not experienced, but just when a job position is just no one more qualified for for guiding your life than you.
Exactly.
That's what it was coming. Qualified. That's the word. You are the
Qualified.
most qualified person to do. Oh, it's like in Star Wars. You know, they used to say, "Trust your feelings." That was a big
Oh, we're
thing.
bringing Star Wars into this now,
Oh, you
huh?
know, you can find some seeds of truth and wisdom in the media. It's sprinkled in various places, but it's
Oh
gonna
no,
be
I love Star Wars.
Star Wars is one of them. Star Wars is Star Wars is one of them. There's some good stuff there.
uh, oh, I love Yoda. I love the stuff that Yoda was like. What was that one line he does? He goes, "Do or do not. There is no try."
And I say that to this day, all the time. I say that to this day. I tell my son that, and he'd be like, I'm gonna try." No, do or do not.
No,
There
no,
is no try. Do not give
there
me
is no
that.
try.
You know, you can say it after the fact if you want to, but don't tell me beforehand. It's like you're just planning to.
Yeah, I love that. He's just like, mm-mm. He's just, I love Yoda. He just be so chill and cool, and then have these like mountains of wisdom. Jen says, had something happened the weekend when I took my teen to watch fireworks. We were waiting for your kid is very psychic, just FYI. Waiting for my husband outside an arcade across the road. A drunk man told my teen, I need you to go to the arcade and I need you to stand by that machine. It popped out of my mouth a few months after the drunk man came across and fell into where my daughter was stood. He can't explain what happened. Um, So that man's, your, like I said, your daughter's very psychic and she's kind of powerful. You just don't know it yet. She needs probably guidance and some assistance. She's going through a lot that she's not telling you right now. The drunk man's shadow, his soul and shadow, could see that he needed help from her, and that's why he did what he did. It wasn't a conscious effort. He was seeking help, and the thing on him and in him needed help, and that's the only way he could find help. It was an unconscious, sadly, effort to get help.
Well, I mean, definitely, even just the wording you're using and what you're saying, that the words just popped out of your mouth that you told your child to do that. This is trusting our intuition. This is like a beautiful example of like really discerning something and really recognizing a certain energy in the room and acting in accordance with that. Sometimes that can be off-putting to other people or cause other people to, but when it comes to your own well-being and what feels right for you, your family members, like, okay, in that instance, that's a symmetry where you see how your own intuition has helped to just create a little more ease and flow in this particular situation. I don't get any kind of vibe of like this was going to be a really uh, damaging or insane like situation. I do get a lot of what Vaishu here is saying as far as like it was kind of an unfortunate mishap or something, like as far as his intentions not being one of maliciousness. I don't get anything like that, but I do get this sense of your own intuition being open enough and you're really being listening or feeling, experiencing them enough to feel those impulses and pulls. So that's just like validation for you to like lean into more of that of what you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, because that's like a seed of discernment for you.
And it's hard because I know when your kid's involved, you're just like no. I know that that feeling comes into place with your kid, so I get that. But
That protective thing,
mm-hmm,
yeah, that protective thing is gonna come into place for sure.
mm-hmm,
And there's nothing wrong with that, though. At the same time, right? It's just there's always a balancing aspect to all things when it comes from me, because
mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that. As a parent, on a very human, practical, 3D level, I guess, so to speak, just in the real physical plane of existence. Um, yeah, you're gonna have those very real world fears, the dangers and surroundings around your child, et cetera, et cetera. But then at the same time, on those other levels, there's other things happening. There's so much more nuance to the experiences. You know, sorry about that. New York City.
Whew.
You good over there?
Yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, I'm fine.
Did you have something? Was something coming up?
Um, yeah, no, it's nothing. She goes, no, wasn't malicious. I guess I was more shocked. I asked her to move, although didn't understand why that happened. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, the whole thing of, how everyone keeps saying that, we're light workers or source. I identify personally as a source worker, as a light worker and a shadow worker because the shadow workers transmute the darkness, so, or shadow aspect, so source worker. But yeah, it's just a lot of people I feel are unconscious, they haven't quote unquote got into a state of consciousness that we have, so they aren't aware of a lot of things that are happening around them. They just know that they need something. They don't know why they need it, what they're doing, what extent they're sometimes going through to get the help they need. They just know, I need to go there. It's like the soul call. It's like, oh, that person can help me. That person is light. They see light. That's all they see. So it's just what it is.
Oh, you mean as far as him being attracted to them is
Just people who are unconscious in general,
Mhm.
where they see light and they go act a certain way or do certain
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And a lot of the
Be
people
very much
have
like
stuff,
moths to flames.
and
It can
then
have
and
that.
then they have stuff on them most often than not. With what I notice it too. So half the time when they're reacting a certain way or being ugly or not nice to someone, it's most of the time it's not even them. So there's
Hey,
also
Kelly.
that.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean when you say it's not even them as far as the vessel itself or the spirit embodying and the energy?
Spirit is there, vessel is there, shadow is there, multiple bodies are there. But if you have something, if the person is unconscious and they
Yeah.
have something else, and there's different kinds of things, I really don't think we should discuss what these are on this live.
Yeah, they're more susceptible to other influences
They're
when without the
susceptible to certain
awareness.
influences that, if they're not careful, can have more of a say in what they do.
Right. Well, that's more susceptible. But I get where you're going. I know what you mean. um, yeah, okay. I see what you mean. So, how do you discern when it comes to people that kind of energy? As far as, you know, we'll hear all sorts of tales about soulless vessels. I personally don't align with all of that, but I do recognize that um, people come with varying degrees and levels of awareness, varying degrees and levels of intentionality, varying degrees and levels of uh, consciousness. And so, with that, definitely you'll come across entities that are like vampires. Definitely you might come across entities people might say, oh, this person seems reptilian because they seem to have negative that kind of energy or whatever. How do you discern between that? I don't really. I think a lot of that stuff is labels and interpretations, but I'm talking about just the varying degrees of people you interact with. How do you feel like this person is in resonance with me? This person is somebody I can only work with, or this person is somebody for me to stay away
So when you said that R word, also cancel that energy. When we're talking about those beings, they're more of an influence more than, and it's more of like past life stuff. It's more of like, oh, if you were on this planet asteroid system and you did this, this, and this, and then you have certain people and certain influences, and they still have. That's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to talk about this. There's other things. They're not just.
from. No, I know what you're referring to. I'm just saying in general, with all of these different types of beings, how do you filter in yourself um what kind of energy you're letting into your experience, regardless of what the
Um,
being itself might be projecting or putting off, right? What type of being it might be. How do you feel that out? Is that an empathic thing? Is that a processing in the mind thing?
So if I feel something's off, so most of the time I don't see stuff. I like make stuff so I don't see it because I see a lot of things on people and just in general. So I don't want to
Mm,
see stuff. So I make things so I don't see stuff in my day-to-day life. So
okay.
unless I have to again. And then if someone's acting out of the ordinary or if they're being extra triggered or they're being extra violent or verbally like if something's out of the ordinary and I feel
Mhm.
like something the energy's kind of weird, then I remove that filter for a second and then I'll be like, then I'll see exactly what's on them. And then I'll
Okay.
be like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. And then in different situations, I'll either be like, I'll talk to their guides or my guides or higher self or whoever I need to talk to and be like, can I remove this? If I have permission, I take it off. If I don't have permission, I just increase my boundaries and I step away. But sometimes you don't have permission to remove things from people. If their contract says it has to be with them, or if they don't give you permission, or their higher self says no, this has to be a certain way, you cannot interfere. So that's what happens. If something seems out of the ordinary and it's taking more of my attention and focus for no
Mhm.
reason, I'll remove the filter. I'll take a look at it, and I'll assess the situation. I'll either take care of it, or I'll walk away. There's only two ways you can go about it. You can either take care of the situation, boom, it's out of the way now, not a problem, or walk away, remove yourself from the situation.
So you never come across an experience with maybe letting a person in that you felt was, of maybe good intentions, and then experiencing them flip on you and realizing in hindsight that maybe you didn't read the energy right, or that maybe you got it wrong. Like, okay, this person was not for me, and this was, or is it always just kind of that clear cut for you?
No, it's been more clear cut for me recently. Because it's a waste of time, energy, and resources. So it's been more clear cut for me now.
Space of
But
detachment.
yeah, so a little bit. So I try to not involve myself in where things don't need my involvement. Like if you're giving me good energy, you're giving me a good input, you're worth my time and effort, good, we'll
Right,
talk. I'll continue to give my energy and my efforts towards you. But if
right.
it's not, I have too much going on. I don't need this, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you'll get 100% of my love, effort, whatever you need, whatever I can give you, because it's an equal exchange. And not to say that's always 100%. You know, it's not going to be like 50-50 exactly. Ideally, yes, that's a great option. But sometimes it won't sometimes always be exactly on the level that you're at. But what you're saying is where I think you're saying, I got distracted for a second, where you think you made a mistake with someone or something like that, right? So in that case, I've done several things where I had to like go through like major processing. I just sat there for months crying, just sitting there going, what went wrong? Why did it go wrong? What could I have done better? What wasn't enough? Was I not good enough? Was the situation not good enough? Um, I went through
So
a lot
when
of
I
it. I had to
usually
like,
do that, that helps me fine tune my discernment. So I've gotten better over the years, right? But like, you know, it's human. It's it's human life, and I think
it's
these
human.
situations
So
do
it's
come up
just,
sometimes where lessons can be cyclical. I know in my experience, and even recently, like I filtered out a lot of different types of energies. But even recently, I had somebody who kind of come up in my life, and there was like a great friendship budding, and then all of a sudden that energy flipped, and I saw another side to this person, and there's this toxic underbelly, so to speak, that I didn't realize was there, where it's just like it wasn't like this person was malicious, but it was like a hurt people type of thing. And it was like a realization that this person actually tends to do that with a lot of their relationships. And so for
so
me, it was like a new discovery that I hadn't read in the energy prior to, but now on the back end, it's been a lesson for me to dig even deeper when I'm making connections, right?
yeah, and I felt that way too recently, where I just realized that it was sometimes it is our own, you know, unhealed effort, and sometimes it is just that we accept less than what we should be accepting. And sometimes people come back into you, like you're saying, it's a cyclical thing. The universe sends people back to you saying, "Do you want this?" And you're like,
Right.
"Oh, trauma? Do I want this? Maybe." And they give it to you
Yeah.
again. They send it to
Yeah.
you again. Do you want
Or you
this?
opt out.
And then
Or you
yeah,
no thanks.
do you want this? And you're like,
Good.
ah, shit, no thanks, bro, I'm good. And they're like,
I'm
"Oh,
good.
you want something else? Oh, okay, we're gonna give you something else now, right?" So
Yeah.
it's kind of more of that kind of effort to me personally. I feel like they're like, "Do you want this? Do you want trauma again? You want pain again?" And you're like, "Ah, no thanks." And then it's kind of just saying, "I don't want this anymore. I deserve better." And then there's a two-part effort to this, because we keep raising our vibrations. At some point, if I say Jessica and me got along really, 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 we were best friends and everything, and that was like 6 months ago, my vibration might have changed in those 6 months. So me and
Mhm.
Jessica, not no fault of Jessica's, but I've just changed in my vibration. So we just don't
Yes.
resonate anymore. So it's not like, so
Yes.
it could also be that your higher vibration that you're at, Zay, is triggering those people, and they can't keep up, and now they're acting out more than more usual because your vibration is higher.
Very true. Or they could have slipped in their own vibration.
They
Um,
could.
in either way. I like what John says here, where he says all information is filtered and delivered as per the vibration they are in. I think that's so true, and I think I would add to that the information that is filtered and delivered generally is often pertaining to them in that vibration. So there's still always more to the story that we are not necessarily seeing on the surface. Um, but it is a good introduction because it's like, oh, you meet somebody in a good vibration and you see them at their best, and it's a beautiful thing. And especially when you get to this place where you start seeing spirits and you start connecting with souls, like everybody becomes beautiful all of a sudden. And it's this thing where even as you're seeing that and you're experiencing that, you have to remain mindful to the fact that we are in the human realm and there are still all these things up happening on other levels. That is just like, it'll catch you off guard if you're only paying attention to the beauty that you're seeing.
Yeah. So it's just so much that goes into this though. It's hard to give like a one straight and then this is what you do. This is what take it and go with it kind of
Oh,
answer, you know?
absolutely. That's why we have a conversation. Like you're just like, just let it all fly. We're not even touching the surface of what it is to discern or anything. Hopefully, these stories and these sharings, these ideas are just offering some further insights to anybody watching and their own process. But we're not ending the world's um, world's issue with this one conversation. I don't think, but I do think it's good. It's good, valuable information coming up.
Uh-huh. It's just I guess I never realized until we started talking about this, like the depth of how you would answer this question. I guess like having this conversation now is just like, oh wow, this is like a really in-depth like this is like a
It's
deep,
deep.
deep freaking
It
conversation.
gets deep.
It's deep.
Absolutely. Um, but I like having these conversations and these explorations and we usually get into these conversations so easily and so it's usually a great connection. It's just like, yeah, let's just go live with it. Let's just throw it
Yeah,
on
because
camera and
it's
we can connect with people and they can join the conversation.
yeah,
Thank you,
it seems
John.
easy to talk that way. That's like that's why I love this. Like it's like easy to have this depth of conversation as opposed to going like superficial all the time, I think.
Yeah.
What is a good way to ground yourself, Melissa?
Good way to ground yourself.
So
So,
hi
hey, Katrina.
Katrina, hope you're well too. A good way to ground yourself, Melissa. They're showing me that you're walking through the woods or some kind of grassy area. Maybe you go to parks or maybe you run or jog. I don't know. Ooh, they're saying energetic release. So maybe you need to start stretching. Like there's some energetic centers that are trapped right now that are trying to flow free. And
Mm,
also maybe like go on a walk where there's grass, like not wearing like sneakers or anything, but something that's almost like it's barefoot, you know, maybe sandals or something, where you can feel the ground as you move through
mhm.
the forest
That's
or whatever. You can feel the elevations and depressions, and I'm grounding you as they do this, I think. But or you can just kind of walk through and then or you can just touch a tree. You can
mhm,
drop some water to a tree root and you can touch the tree and ask the tree to ground you. Trees do that too. They just
mhm.
go boop and they ground you. My one of my tree friends out there, I think I forgot it. Um, I have a tree friend out there. He like whenever I have problems, he like grounds me initially. So, but you can just offer them some water and then you touch them and they ground you immediately. He's laughing.
Yeah,
And
I like those. I one of what I'm getting specifically for you that's coming up in response to your question. One technique that I do enjoy doing that is a very easy technique for me to really get into grounding wherever I'm at, um, is really connecting with the sense of gravity. And it's this idea or this thought. When you sit on the floor, you sit on the bed, and your body's center of gravity, your center of mass, just kind of sinks and sits to the floor or bed, whatever. You just kind of seep in. We don't always think about it a lot, but when we do think about it, when we're feeling like bloated or something, and you walk around, you're like, oh, I'm feeling so fat, and you're judging yourself, right? And then you feel all heavy. That sensation you get in your gut, all of a sudden you feel like you pull to the floor, right? So if you allow yourself to tap into that sensation. Like I'm sitting here now, just sitting on my cushion talking, but I can feel myself pull to the floor. If I'm not doing anything, boom. And the more I allow my consciousness, my focus to shift to that sensation of what it is to be pulled down, I can start to connect with the energy of the earth, recognizing that I'm being pulled down towards her. She's like she's calling me. I'm on the fifth floor right now, but I'm still being pulled down towards the earth. And so I can descend my energy downward, deeply, deeply downward, connect with her and descend it. as into her roots as the tree's roots and down to her core if I have to. But that's always a nice entry point for me to ground myself, especially if I'm in a place like I am now on the fifth floor in a building and I'm not able to get outside or and touch the grass or be on the ground. Um, Hands in dirt, that's another way to kind of connect with the energy of nature and grounding. Um, but yeah, that one is that I've been playing with a lot lately, and it's made my grounding very powerful in a real just kind of because it's such a solid thought in my mind. So, these are all just tools and approaches, but that's one way that I would offer you that comes up when I read your question.
That's amazing thing. I could feel you were really grounding some of us in the what is it? Uh, this live. You were grounding while you were talking. You were grounding. You were using your grounding energy to ground us in this live. You were
Yeah.
grounding me too. That was funny. Um, that yeah, they're showing me certain crystals for you as well. They're saying use grounding crystals. That'll help you as well. If you touch the crystal in your hand, like if you touch it and go, oh, it's gonna ground me. If you put your intention into it
Hmm.
and say, oh, it's gonna ground me. It's gonna ground me. So the crystal will also help you. What he was saying, were you imagining like tree roots growing out into the ground and walking, and you feel the ground or sitting where there's like grass and everything, and your water. That's gonna help you. So I would just start trying to practice those.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some really great entries to grounding. I think we can get real. I mean, we could probably do a live on grounding itself, and get real deep into because I think all of just so much. There's just so many layers, and it's the multidimensionality to all things. And really, when we start diving into any of these uh, spiritually influenced, interconnected topics, they can all just weave into each other and we could get real deep. My mind is already going on grounding now. I got to do a video on grounding
Yeah.
and the importance of grounding and what it brings to the experience. Like so, yeah. But yeah, that is a very good one. I think grounding also can be a powerful tool in discernment. This is really just coming up now, but spirit is like, oh, talk about that. But for me, one of the things that I like to do with regards to gaining clarity in my day to day, in my moment to moment with regards to just gaining some discernment in any particular situation. I like to just kind of take space, create a moment, whether I have opportunity to take like 15 minutes out or whether I just can only take 3 breaths. Usually I can always find space to take 3 breaths, nice, deep, full breaths. Just kind of allow the energy to slowly descend, just like fog, just like water droplets when you spray a spray bottle. You take another deep breath in. Just let things slow down around you. Let your body calm. Just bring yourself as much to a place of stillness. This place of stillness is really powerful when you're grounded. Grounding often allows me to tap into stillness very easily. And so, if you are grounded, this is a great opportunity to connect to just a point of stillness. Taking this last breath. From this place of stillness, you can usually hear a little clearer. You can usually feel your senses and your energy a little clearer. You can feel if there's some excitement, if there's some hesitation. So just carving out a momentary space to allow you to gain some clarity is goes a long way with discernment, and this is how grounding can tie into that. Kind of high now.
It's the breath work and the actual grounding that you did for all of us. You actually came over here. That's why I was laughing. You're like, hey, I'll show you. Watch me.
Yeah, my
That was
my my
funny.
energy can do that sometimes. But
That was
but yeah,
good.
hopefully that offers something to everybody.
That's good. Yeah, grounding is pretty important. That's a good point that you brought up because, oh, you can feel that my voice is different now.
Mm,
They're pointing out. But when you're more grounded and when you're more in center, the information that you're receiving from your guidance and your higher self and just general to make decisions, like people who want to make a major life decision, like moving or college, school, whatever you need to do, it comes easier when you're in center, in body, and you're grounded. The information is more clearer to you as opposed to when you're getting ungrounded information and you're just like, oh God, oh God, oh God, what is this? What is that? And you're like, oh,
yeah,
and you doubt yourself, and you're like, wait, is this right? Was this my guides? Was it spirit? Was it myself? Was it my shadow? Like, it just
yeah,
when you're grounded, the information is clear. It's like a clear knowing kind of, oh, okay, this is what it is.
yeah. Absolutely, that's so much truth. You get that anxious energy just as you're running around, kind of scattered brain. Your energy's like, what's that? I get it. I get it.
I'm talking from firsthand experience. That's why I said what I said.
Well, I can relate firsthand experience. It's true. So grounding is definitely an important factor. I think it can really lead a lot of people into just having a little bit more clarity with their own discernment and decision making process. I feel good. This having this conversation started off with a little bit more frenetic energy, and as we kind of went through it, and we've had these moments of practice, like everything has settled, and it's just I feel very serene and like yeah, we did some work. We shifted some energy on this live, so I want to thank everybody who has joined us and held this space this evening. Vaishu, I want to thank you for joining me on this
Hey
live.
Zay, 11111. Sorry.
111. Oh, I just saw it. Nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's no, you can interrupt me for that anytime. I was just thanking you anyway. I was thanking you for joining me on this live and being part of this moment. And you pointed out the moment.
Thank you for having me. And thank you everyone who came on today.
Yes, absolutely. This was awesome. Thank you all. Are there anybody else who has any other questions or would like a quick card pull while we're still here?
Oh
Well,
yeah,
actually,
I
if we
forgot
still
about
have
that.
time,
Yes.
I'm okay. I know there's only a few people still here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone wants a card, I'm game. If I have a bunch of what was it? I just got so much into the conversation. I was just enjoying talking, I guess, instead of the usual, like, I guess, the
We can
feelings
keep
that
the talk
you know.
going. We can keep the talk
Uh,
going.
so I forgot about the whole part, the other thing. um,
Mhm.
but yes, I
Okay.
have this Akashic Tarot thing, if you can see
Oh,
it.
nice.
So if anyone wants a card, I will pull from there.
Nice. And I have the Energy Oracle cards. Okay. Oh, and
Oh, we got names.
Nicole has
Oh,
donated. Oh, thank you, Nicole.
okay, Katrina wants a card. So we can do the people who donated a healing first, and then we could do the card pulls if you're okay with that.
Yes. Yes, that sounds fine.
Okay, Ada wants a card.
Do you have like a pen or are you writing it? You look like you're writing a
Yes, I
letter.
am. I
Okay.
am.
All right, great.
Gail wants a card. Melissa, you are very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Um, and Jen Mason wants a card. Okay, and Nicole, thank you so much for donating.
Thank you, Nicole. Give me just one moment.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you want to start with Nicole? Give me a moment just to kind of clear my energy field so Nicole, I can connect with your energy and we can tap in. Great. Okay, Nicole.
Ooh.
So, Nicole, did you have any specific thoughts or questions that you wanted to feel into tonight, or do you want to just, are you just requesting for us to feel in and pull forward whatever we feel?
She's typing.
Okay, whatever we feel, she says. Okay, she
Whatever
says
y'all
whatever we
feel,
feel.
yeah.
All right. So, Vaishu, do you have anything, or would you like me to jump in? Let me know.
I'm suddenly feeling her pain in her heart chakra, so I'm gonna start working on that, and you feel free to jump in.
Okay. It's funny that you say her pain in the heart chakra. What's standing out to me is her throat, her voice, her throat chakra.
Mm.
I'm feeling a lot of kind of scratchiness and fatigue. I'm trying to discern if this is overworking the throat chakra or if this is a need for more expression of the throat chakra. And so they're giving me the cyclical arrows, like the yin and the yang, and the up and the down. It's like just two arrows, curved arrows, kind of chasing its tail. It's a two-lane highway, is what they're saying. And so you're expending a lot of energy through your throat, but it's not. It doesn't feel like the most uh, effective use of your throat. It feels like you may be using a lot of your throat to say, maybe going off on people, you're telling people off, you're letting people know what they, but people are not listening. People are not necessarily getting the message. And so you're just kind of wasting your energy, kind of burning through your throat chakra necessarily, where there may be other ways that you could use that energy more effectively. And so it's a little bit of expelling a lot of throat chakra energy, but then there's a little bit of you need to continue to express. You just need to figure out exactly how to express in these situations. This brings me back to the idea of discernment. I like saying discernment. For you, it's a matter of discerning how people need to be how people need to be dealt with. That's literally what I heard. I didn't want to say that term because it felt so harsh. But what they mean with regards to that is like for you, how you need to interact with people. Some people are more responsive to sugar. Some people are more responsive to vinegar. Some people need to see your vulnerable side. Some people need to see more of that fiery side. And it's it's about taking a nuanced approach to each situation, to each circumstance. As you're able to do that, you'll be able to adjust how you're using your throat chakra so that you're actually expressing yourself more effectively. When it's somebody who responds better to a little bit more sugar or sweetness, you'd be better suited to kind of appeal to them in that type of way, right? If it's a situation, but it's always going to require actually reading the room, actually being mindful of what's happening around you and the energies around with the other people in those circumstances for you to identify that. And so that's where the practice is going to be for you, really, and discerning how to best express yourself, because it's what they're saying is that you want to become more nuanced in your ways of expression as opposed to expressing yourself one way across the board to everybody and expecting everybody to adjust. The more you can work with your throat chakra's energy, the more you're going to be more effective and um, create the co-creation you want to experience, basically. more you're going to be more effective in being able to have those co-creations you want to experience, as opposed to the butting and crashing of heads. So I'm going to work on your throat chakra a little bit. Vaishu, if you have anything else that you're feeling into.
Yeah, Nicole. So, yeah, I was trying to get your throat chakra as well to spin visit. I was feeling that too. And mm, and your heart, we're spinning all your chakras right now. Your head chakras as well. Your crown needs a little adjusting, they're saying. Putting some light in all of these chakras for you. I'm feeling a lot of pain in your heart. It seems like you need to get a good cry out, Nicole. It's like you're trying to be hard all the time, and you're trying to be not hard, strong all the time. And you're just like, I got this, I got this. I'm a strong, independent woman. I got this, I got this, I got this. But like, you need a good cry. You need to like be like, I can be vulnerable too. And like those people who are not nice to you when you were vulnerable, those are unfortunate, you know, just send those people grace and be like, they couldn't appreciate how wonderful I was, and I took a chance and it didn't end the way I wanted it to end, unfortunately. Um, but kind of move on from there saying, hey, I've learned so many experiences. I've learned so many wonderful things. I'm a completely different person, and obviously give other people the same chance, you know, saying, hey, I'm a completely different person. There are other people who are like me out there, and I need to go forward not in fear. Uh,
Okay, so
but just moving forward
oh,
anyway. Oh, what happened?
you froze for a
Yeah,
second, but you're back now.
okay. Yeah, just kind of, oh, okay, let's calm that body down.
Hmm.
Nicole, you have a body coming home right now. You have a trauma body coming home. Open up.
So I think I lost Vaishu. I'm gonna wait and see. She should pop back on, hopefully. Um, I'm gonna tack on to what she was saying, Nicole. Oh, there she goes. Awesome. There you go. You're back.
Hey, Nicole. So we're gonna ground you real quick. And um, can you go ahead, please and thank you? All right. So yeah, you have a body coming in. That's what you're feeling right now. Open. You know what I'm talking about. Open. Let it in. We're filling it up with light, light, light. Clear it. It's coming in right now. Don't fight it. Open up, please. There we go. Open. Let it in. Yeah, that was a major body. It looks like you were a teenager at this point. You look a little bit younger. It looks like your mother was still around at this point. And yeah, it was a trauma body that came in, Nicole. You just took in a major trauma body that just came back. Spin your heart chakra. I know it hurts, but spin. There we go. And then reground you. You're okay. We're gonna fill you up in like a nice cotton candy cocoon thing so you feel nice and safe.
Nicole, I want to tackle one more thing to the message that both Vaishu and I were giving. With regards to the heart space, after I worked on the throat chakra, I started feeling it opened up and really allowed me to seep into the heart. And I felt all of this pain in the heart space. And it tied into some of that energy that I was feeling in the throat and the depression, and the simple message really that I was getting from the guides was that is that it is time for you to start expressing your vulnerabilities, the vulnerabilities of your heart. And while that can sound kind of scary to do, even more than expressing your heart and its vulnerabilities to others, it's time to start expressing it to yourself and actually acknowledging some of your own vulnerabilities that maybe you try to repress or deny so that you can continuously persevere this sense of, I don't have time for that, or I'm not going to honor that, but it is time to allow that to be expressed. And firstly, to yourself, before we even start thinking about the ways you may need to express to others. Just coming to awareness and acknowledgement of what this is. And so that was the message. I just felt the shift just from me give you that message. So um, just think about that as you move forward, Nicole.
Yeah. You just say stuff, dude. Don't worry about what people will think. Just say, get it. If you want to really say something, say it. And sometimes you don't need every single person in your life. If they're meant to leave, they're gonna leave. The people who are really important to you will stay. So just say what you need to say.
Speak your truth. Thank you, Katrina. Yeah, we can
Uh,
get into Katrina next. How are
okay.
you feeling with Nicole?
I just so usually when I work on her, it's kind of like gentle work because she's been through a lot. It's just so it's you can't blast normally like with other people I'd blast stuff. So you have to do it very gentle. Her guides are a little protective about her. So just a little gentle a little bit. But then yeah, we filled it up with light now and she's like it seems like her emotional body is resting. It's like calming down.
Yeah, I was just smoothing out the energy around her throat and her heart, especially that connection
Mm-hmm.
between the two, to kind of facilitate
Mm-hmm.
your own ability to kind of express your heart's truth through your throat, right? But just remember, this is about your own expression to self and how you come to awareness and face these things um, at the ground level before you even move on to how do you express externally. Yeah, I feel complete with that.
I feel complete with that too. Thank you, Nicole, for donating.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay, so then we will move on and work get into Katrina, and then we can pull those few cards for everybody else. Oh,
Yay.
you're welcome, Nicole. Beautiful. I'm glad the messages resonated with you. Thank you for popping in and stopping by my
Aw.
page. I think this is the
Ah,
first
thank
time I've
you.
gotten to work with Nicole before, but hearing that you worked with her before in the past, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Clearing out my energy field. I'm going with Katrina next. Thank you, Katrina.
Katrina, I feel like so I'm gonna go ahead and remove. You have a few cords on you. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those energetic cords for you, Katrina. And I feel like there's some people in your field that I'm gonna gently, with love, ease, and grace, push away. Um, because they're draining your energetic field right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and gently push them away. And we're gonna cut some cords for you and clean out your energetic field. Looks like you've been doing a lot of processing recently, and the remnants of that processing you haven't quite cleared yet, possibly. So I would very highly recommend a salt bath for you to clean your auric field. It can be any kind of salt you want to use, black salt, pink salt, white salt, any salt you want to use to scrub yourself with that salt and kind of cleanse your auric field. Um, I'm seeing some heart stuff and some root stuff. Um, yeah, her root is it's a little underactive. So I'm just gonna go work on that, Katrina. It looks like I'm gonna revitalize your root. I'm gonna get rid of I'm gonna get rid of the space in between. So your heart cavity, if you do it like this, is from front to back. I'm gonna clear out that whole space, and I'm gonna work on your root. We're gonna change out some. I'm gonna reprogram. I'm doing some programming on your root chakra. It's something about not feeling safe, and that's why you're having trouble grounding as well. It's like your concerns about money or not feeling safe or in this experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some DNA, change some DNA codes. Okay.
Mhm. So, Katrina, while Vaishu is doing that, I'm just gonna go and share what I've been working on with you. I'm gonna stay in this space because it's needed at this moment. Right away, when I tap into your energy, what I'm feeling is a lot of tension in the heart space. And what it feels like is that it's been kind of a wall erected there, a really kind of just this almost expansive wall. And what it feels like is really you've been in this tense state of holding your breath. And spirit is telling me is that it's time to allow yourself to breathe, Katrina, to allow yourself to breathe and release. And the thing that's stopping you from breathing is the fear. It's that hesitation. And it's almost like it's a pain body reaction that we all will go through where we have um, pain. You can think of a physical tense up sometimes. We'll lock up and we'll hold in that position out of fear of letting go, out of fear of what that next moment might bring because we're afraid it's going to be more pain as opposed to you seeing that it could be relief of pain. And so when we tense up and we lock up, what we tend to do is we lock the pain in that space. We hold on to it as opposed to release it and relieve it and allow this relief. And so what I've been working on is easing this tension around the heart space. Spirit is talking about allowing yourself to come back to this place of breathing again. And what that means is slowly, because there is hurt and there is pain there, there's going to be hesitation, and that's natural. You don't want to force yourself into a superficial healing. So take your time with this as you go through your days to allow the healing to unfold in a more organic way, finding the ways to validate and begin to trust in life again. Trust in your own intuition and experiences. The things that caused the pain in the past, the pains in the past, have done a lot, both damage wise, but have done a lot to really inform and develop you and really fine tune your own base of knowledge as far as how you proceed moving forward. So it's time to start coming to a place of starting to validating your own wisdom, your own knowledge, coming to trusting yourself and coming to trust life again, coming to trust that connection you have with spirit. And you only do that by finding these little moments where you can validate, these little moments where maybe your instincts led you right and was actually something good happened in your life because you trusted, or that time you took that leap of faith. It might have been a small leap of faith, but something paid off, or it can be the most inane, you know, you had a conflict that day and you thought you was gonna drive and you worried about driving because you didn't know if you was gonna get parking, but you said something said just go, you need to get there in time, just drive and take the chance, and you lucked out and found a spot right in front of you and you knew something inside was like, wow, I was blessed in that moment, I was lucky. But allow that lucky moment to validate that life and that spirit is conspiring with you, not against you. So allow yourself to start to breathe again by coming to this space of really trusting in life again. And it's going to be a step by step process. So be compassionate with yourself as you go through it. Be compassionate with yourself and allow some ease into it. It doesn't need to be a sense of pressure or I need to go get over this. I need to and start scolding yourself because what that's going to do is like It's like your heart is like an abused puppy or an abused animal, right? And you're trying to rehabilitate this hurting animal, but every time it doesn't act the way you want it to act, you yell at it. And so it gets triggering that fear response again, as opposed to um, being mindful and compassionate throughout the process, so that it can learn in a way at its own pace. Okay, so be compassionate with yourself as you start to validate these things and come back to a place where you can breathe again. But it's time to start breathing.
Mhm. Um, Katrina, I don't know if you felt it, but there's the heart chakra seems a little bit more happier now. And we went right down and aligned the heart chakra with the root chakra. And there was a certain limited belief system that I found in the DNA in your root chakra, which I went ahead and removed. And I put some new codes in, and I felt like your root chakra release. I felt it go like release, and you kind of just got it, you know? And which was wonderful to see that happening. But if you've been having any lower digestive issues, Katrina, that should resolve now a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Breathe.
It's
And that is my
okay.
message. I feel
It's
complete with
okay
that,
to be in
Vaishu.
this
How you do?
existence. I'm good. It's okay to be in this existence. You deserve to be here. You are wanted here. You are here and now, here and now. Get in body here and now. There you go. I'm complete. Thank you, Katrina.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love it, love it. So, who's still here? We want to pull a couple of quick cards. Hey, Melissa, you're still here. Yay. Thank
Oh,
you.
she said I feel you working. Thank you, Katrina.
Melissa says we're amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We're
Um,
glad that the messages, the energy is it's resonating, it's translating. Jen, beautiful.
hey, she says that I'm not tensing anymore. Yay, good for you, Katrina. I'm glad.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to pull some cards?
All right. Yes. Okay. So I think Katrina already got the reading, the healing. So, I think Ada, Gail, and Jen Mason wanted cards, if I have that
Yep.
right.
They all popped in. And Jen says she's here. Ada says she's here.
Okay,
Rita
you're
says if you're
welcome.
bored. So I must take it to mean that Rita wants one.
Okay, so Rita wants one. Roundabout way of saying all one. Okay. Let's see. You're welcome, Melissa. All right, let's
Yes,
do
you're
Ada
welcome.
first.
Melissa, thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you just
Yes,
coming
Melissa,
through and
thank
being part of
you.
this. This was great. Your
Everyone who hopped
insights,
on today, thank you.
your insights were awesome.
All right, so
Gail,
it.
beautiful.
All right, so I get card for Ada first. Ooh, okay. So,
Hey,
so you got add some. So these are beautiful cards, by the way. So add some I am here. Add some live in the moment. Add some. So it's pretty much Ada saying, live for the now. It seems like you're very into the future. Like, I'm going to do this, and this. They're saying, live for the now. Add some I am here. Do reaffirming affirmations. And it says balance. You need balance in your life right now. It just feels like you have all these wonderful ideas and you're finally like, ooh, maybe I'm gonna do this. Maybe I don't need to work this place anymore. Maybe I'm gonna do this. But you need to have a grounded approach to anything that you're doing, Ada, because you have wonderful ideas. They just need to be grounded into this reality, okay?
mm, like, like, like. Um, hey, I'm gonna jump in and just the card I got for you of the Energy Oracle deck. You got the man with a heart. Wait, is it man holding a heart? And this is like, ooh, romance and love and butterflies. But really, this card is talking all about embracing the love, allowing yourself to receive the love, and indeed even romancing yourself. Although actually allowing the actual romance to be there too. Love is there for you, just allowing it, just really allowing it and gifting it to yourself. Okay.
She goes, LOL.
Worthy and deserving. Man with the heart. Love it. Okay.
Okay.
Jen Mason?
Sure, we can do Jen next. All right, let's do Jen. Oh. Ooh, I like this. You pulled my favorite card, Jen. Ooh. Okay.
Must be in for something. Her favorite card.
One of my favorite cards. So this is the Fated Meeting card. So this card is, in this card, there's two people meeting that have been predestined by their higher selves, if you can see that. Their higher selves have already made a contract and they're meeting in this lifetime. And they're finally meeting in the 3D realm. So it's like kind of like all kinds of contracts coming into play for you that you've been waiting on. And it says reflection, kind of going within pretty much. And there's like, I like that moon on there too. It's kind of making a major reflection on yourself and coming to terms with who you are and what you want. And the contracts play out, accepting new things, new people, new places, taking that step forward. Go ahead. Good luck with that. I like that.
Interesting. Okay, so Jen, two cards jumped up for you. The first card is the all tied up card, which is a really pretty card. And the second card is the yin yang card, but it's inverted. And so these two, what they're talking about, what Spirit, hearing Spirit saying is that you're a little bit out of balance. That's what the yin yang is about, but it's kind of throwing you. It's throwing you a little bit out of ilk. It's making you feel kind of tied up and repressed as she is because of being out of balance. And so this is about just kind of realigning yourself, getting back to center, back to that stillness, kind of coming back in alignment with in what you would consider harmony for you. Because I think you understand being out of alignment for you when things are a little bit off or things just seem to always keep going wrong because you can't exactly put your finger on it, but you don't know what it is. Things are just wonky. Usually it's like you're out of balance in some way, shape, or form. And that's causing the situation of you just feeling just really tied up, unable to do things, very restricted, right? So this is about righting the ship, getting your head on straight so that you can free yourself and move in accordance, okay? And I'm hearing rest. Something about rest. It's going to
Rest and
help out for
water.
more clarity.
Yeah, rest and water. Hey girl, you get some electrolytes. You just kind of you don't have, you need to have water and electrolytes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Gail next.
Okay, Gail.
You're welcome, Jen.
You're welcome, Jen. Beautiful. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes. Today was
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
Okay. Gail. Ooh, that popped out. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. So you got Sangha, which is community. I'm getting like, if you've been thinking about a mentor or seeing someone new as far as a healer goes or trying something new, it's a community. It's like I'm seeing like a spiritual community. It's like you've been following someone. Oh. So if you've been trying to follow someone and try to have a new mentor or trying to get new assistance, this would be a good time to do that. I think your soul is kind of reaching for something. And commitment. So you got the commitment card. And normally for me, these cards are like, for me, God. um, Normally for like me, it depending on the context, I would think this is like a romantic commitment, but it could be a commitment for you in a new phase of your life, considering that you might be entering a community and a new mentor or some kind of new spiritual development. So it's like a commitment maybe to moving forward on your path.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, 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 yes. I'm gonna jump right in with that, Gail, and piggyback with so caring connections, and I mean, it's pretty self-evident. This ties exactly into what Vaishu was talking about. Um, but as romantic as the reading may sound or may look, I'm getting actually the undertones of the message is really about those connections and the relationships and the way you bring yourself to them. Um, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing, but there's definitely an energy of co-creation presenting itself for you. This energy of co-creation, really, and how you bring yourself to the table is going to matter. But this is about being open to it, being open to collaborations and new connections and these types of things, that type of energy.
Oh, and
So
mom says romance is not out of the picture, by the way.
no, I- with the way both your cards and my cards painted the picture, I just thought the romance was was already
Subtle,
implied.
subtle underlying vibes. Like,
I'm like, you can make that assumption on your own. I'm not even gonna paint that part of the portrait.
good luck, Gail. All right. I think
Yes,
the last person we had was, did she
Ada
say
says I
practice?
practice co-creation. I love it. That's
I
funny.
think the next person we have is Rita,
Yes, Rita. Rita,
unless
you get
anyone
the
else wants a
Harlequin
card.
novel cards that she was talking about.
Yes.
Okay, Rita.
Yes, Ada. Obviously, all of us need more romance in our lives. Girl, preach. Like, okay. Let's see. Oh, for Rita, 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 Rita. Hmm.
Really? Okay.
What?
You know when you ever like pull something and your ego says, "Ah, put that back. I don't want to read it," and
Oh my
then
god, I heard
you
that
pull and the
too.
same card comes again, and you're just like,
I heard that too. I just heard like the first couple I said put it back, and I was like, hmm.
"Yeah." That was basically it. So I was just like, "Oh, okay. I guess I have to read it." So if you're still pulling, I guess I'll just jump in and share Rita's card
Do
while
it,
I.
do it, do it.
Okay, so Rita.
Low brown. No, it's not too late to request a card. I'll put you down.
Okay, Rita. So you got the door to romance. There's a lot of love connections in here tonight, maybe. Um, but this card is the energy of this card is really talking to me about the heart behind the cage and this instinct to want to jump behind the cage walls to protect yourself. And the invitation is for you to not do that, for you to allow your heart, allow yourself to remain in the open, to remain vulnerable, because that is where um, you're able to access the door to true romance. You got to be outside of the cage in order to tap into that romance. You're locked away, hidden behind a cage. It's hard for that romance to come in and meet you halfway. So do not cage that bird, that heart of a bird, that bird of a heart. I don't know where I was going with that, but do not cage it. Allow it to be free so that you can fly through that door of romance.
Froze.
A lot of romance cards. I was told by Spirit to pull these cards today, so okay. I haven't used this deck in a long time, but
Okay, so you said bird or something, but I got the bird's nest.
mm,
And it pretty much just says you're building towards the all you know those little sticks, the little stick the birds be feeding and the feeding their babies and everything. It's like you're building one by one. You need to start picturing what exactly do you need to get to where you need to go. So once you think of those things, like suppose I want to open a business, I need business cards, I need money, I need my LLC. You need to start thinking of the things you need to do. I don't know what I'm doing here. You need to do, get them in line, and then write them down on a paper, and then go ahead and do that, and then it'll start manifesting the way you want it to. Because it feels like you can't do that. And also, it says you're on track. You are on track. Oh no, say. Okay. Well, it says we're live. So it says you're on track right now. So keep going forward, doing what you're doing, and just keep manifesting. Write down what it is that you want, and that should hard to find me at mom's house. Cute card. Okay. Where did Zay go? Okay. Um. Well, Ada said hoppa hoppa.
Okay, let's see if this works at all.
You're
Can you hear me?
here.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, let's see if this works at
Oh,
all.
gotta change that echoey thing.
Oh no.
There we go. I think I fixed it. We're good to go.
Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody. Yes, I am back. Okay, where were we, Vaishu?
Um. I think we're on low brown.
Okay. And I see Gail says she's just donated for healing as well. Thank you,
Oh,
Gail. Okay, we
thank
will
you,
we will do
Gail.
that after Low. You want to pull this last card for Low, and then we can just get into that final healing for Gail.
Okay. All right, low brown. I can't see comments, so if you see something, you have to let me know.
Okay, yeah, not a problem.
Oh, for low brown. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. Okay, so for you, King of Forces, which is this person who's this magical, wonderful, like majestic guy who is like in his power and in his right. And then you got the Queen of Forces, and I shuffled these cards 3 times while I was waiting for Zay to come back on. You got the Queen of Forces. So you got the King and Queen of Forces. Usually to me, that kind of means some kind of equal pairing, either in a romantic sense where you're meeting your ideal match or like your powerhouse match, or it could be that you're entering business with someone that's level-headed, someone that you'd want to enter business with. So that's the two contexts that I'm getting from this. It's like a major pairing in your life. It could either be business or a love thing, or it's just, but it's very equal. It's an equal match. It's like a king and queen of forces. This is like 4 different things in this. Wow.
Okay, Low. So I'm tapping into your energy. I'm feeling all this energy of disconnectedness and ungroundedness. And so I just feel called to share this with you because we have been talking about grounding today. We shared some techniques earlier in the live, and you can go back and rewatch that if you want to, just to review them. But definitely do some grounding, do some work to kind of bring yourself back down into your physical vessel, because it feels like there's a level of you almost disconnecting and there's this lightheadedness. And so you just want to remain kind of rooted and connected in your experience. That said, the card that I pulled is the Angel of Balance. That's what came up for you. The Angel of Balance, which really carries all of this blue looking energy. Really is telling me a little bit about the throat and the crown. This is all about you're in your upper chakras, basically, because also this falls out and it's the fifth chakra. This is the throat chakra. You're in your upper chakras, you're in the upper realms, the head, the throat, the third eye, and you want to ground yourself to come back down into your physical body, bringing in this balance. This is what the Angel of Balance is here about. So regrounding yourself, getting more into the practical things in your day-to-day life, just to bring in those elements, whether it's food and the ways that you're eating, just eating hearty, good feeling foods, spending time with family, whatever kind of connects you in your physical reality, so that it brings balance to your experience and you're not just floating away, living only in your upper chakras. So that was your message, Lo. That went a little bit more in depth, but they just hit me with that and just said to bring that to your attention. So, Gail, yes, I did get your donation, so we will definitely connect and do some added healing with you afterward after we're done.
Thank you, Gail.
You are welcome, Lo. How are you feeling, Vaishu?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So are you ready to move on to Gail now to do some energy work, or is there anybody else? I think that was the last card pull, right?
I think Low Brown was the last card pull. So yeah. Let me tap into Gail.
Great.
Ooh, Gail, you've done a lot of work. Oh, Gail, have you been watching Dr. Rossi's lives every Tuesday for Chicken Soup? So Dr. Rossi gives major downloads every time you watch those Chicken Soup things, Gail. Just FYI. You're getting major downloads through those talks. It seems like you've come a long way. Your energy feels kind of good. Like there's some work you could obviously do, but it feels a lot better than the last time I tapped into your energy. Like you've done some work, did some clearing, or had some healing done on you. Congratulations. I'm going to do some coding for you. It looks like we're currently I know you had gone through a separation recently, and you're trying to bring new into your life. You're trying to revitalize stuff into your life, whether it be new relationships or new pathways, or you just don't want to feel stuck anymore. And you're on the verge of something. So it's like, I'm going to go ahead. They're asking me to self-worth, self-love. So I'm going to take out old programming that you have, and I'm going to update your programming right now. So I'm working pretty much on like removing your own downloads, old downloads, and giving in you new downloads and reprogramming your body. Okay.
Okay, so Gail, when I tap into your energy body, what I'm right off the bat, your vessel feels good. Exactly what Vaishu was saying, that the work that you've been doing and it really opening up your channel in new ways, it really feels like there's just been a lot of cleaning and cleaning out of your filters going on, which is beautiful. So the energy feels very free flowing through the body. But what you may experience now, or you may be stepping into, is that your connections are going to be intensifying. And what I felt automatically is that as your channels are wide open, especially at the crown, and not even just the crown, but even more causal, which is behind the crown. And this really speaks to more other higher dimensional aspects of self. You can see this as more of your star seed side or galactic history. but there may be new awarenesses coming to the forefront of your mind as far as just what you're capable of, what you tie into energetically, what kind of knowledge experiences that you may be able to bring into your physical present incarnation through your own Akashic connection. So as your filters have opened up, these connections are really opening up for you, and you're feeling super plugged in. And it may cause a sensation of even pulling you out of body and feeling out of body because of all of this higher dimensional kind of opening up. What else is happening is that with the opening of your channels, you're there's just more free flowing Kundalini like energy happening within you. And so the grounding thing, big, keeps coming up on this live. Very important for you to stay grounded here in the physical because you're shifting on various planes right now with the opening of your overall channel and with the galactic connections kicking in, more stuff coming into the awareness of yourself. It is going to be a time where you're going to just really want to practice and embody self-care as more of these things are coming to light for you, as you're coming to understand more of these things, and you're going to want to remain grounded throughout this process and really just be attentive to your physical vessel so that you stay present here in the middle realm as you're tapping in to the upper realm and as you may be becoming even more aware of the lower realm. Okay. A lot of energy kind of moving and flowing through you. So you may be experiencing a lot of various different things, Gail. Just taking it stride, step by step, being good to yourself, listening to your body, grounding, staying present. Okay.
Hey Gail, it feels like I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Zay. Were you done?
No, I was done. I was just falling back in and just kind of grounding all of the energy right now.
Okay. Gail, it feels like so I opened up a bunch of crown chakras for you, and I let some of the information with some of the codes that she gave you, our mentor gave you, my mentor gave you, are around here. They're like floating around in your crown chakra area and also near your soul star. I reconnected them. So they went into your crown now. They're open. Your crown chakras are open. That's why you've been having a headache. Also, so you've been having with all the light you've been getting, all the downloads and all the stuff you've been regularly watching, haven't you? So you've been getting a lot of light, and whenever there's my mentor says whenever you get huge immense amounts of light, there's a shadow flush up, right? So so what you're experiencing right now is your shadows flushing up, and you're wondering, oh my God, what is this? I don't have thoughts like this. This is not me. Like you're struggling with that. That's what's happening, honey. It's your shadow flush up. That's what it is. That can be worked through as well. It's just doing shadow work. If you have further questions, you have my contact. I think if not, just message me. But it's pretty much your shadows flushing up from all the light that you've been receiving. You've been taking the light. You've been taking the light. You've been taking it. Obviously, corresponding. It's gonna come up. We're both light and dark, right, hun? So.
Do not fear the shadow as you step forward to face it. It is part of you, and these are aspects that can be and are meant to be transmuted and healed, not run from and repressed.
But congratulations, I'm so proud of you.
Yes, feels like beautiful work being done. You are one of my mentors says elevating. And I love that term. You're going through a period of elevation. So be compassionate with yourself as you do. A lot of times this stuff sounds so cool, but it can be real shocks to the system, and it can really throw people curveballs. And so without a little bit of that just compassionate nature and understanding, it can really throw you off kilter. So you just offer yourself some compassion as you go through this and figuring it all out. Okay.
I back that up. I went through that process where I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Oh my God, let's go. They're like, it's going to be hard work. And I was like, I got this. And they're like, yo, it's going to be like seriously hard work. I'm like, I got this. and I went through it, and I was like, oh God, and I didn't stop, and I went, oh God. I hit a pitfall where I was just like, I was incapacitated, cancel, for a while because of that's how much light I was overloaded within the shadow fellowship was so much I couldn't. I needed
Yeah.
help. I had to ask for help. So please be careful and please take it slow.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Awesome. Like Gail says, powerful. So lots of pain. These type of things happen with what the work that you're doing, and as you're elevating, your body's adjusting. It's just all sorts of new experiences. It's going to be uncomfortable to say the least at various points. Again, that's where that compassion comes in. So
lots of self-love will help.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that wraps us up for tonight, Vaishu. How are you feeling?
I'm complete. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel complete. We have been live for 2 hours. I know we did get started a little bit late, so I want to thank everybody for being patient with us. I had a lot of technical difficulties with the energy initially, so the fact that y'all hung out and stuck around and hung out all this time, I'm very grateful. Vaishu, I am very grateful for you joining me as always. We always have a good time together, so thank you for that. If there's anything you would like to say, be sure to go check out Vaishu's page, and if you're new here, hit that follow up and join me for more in the future because I'm always dropping new stuff. But I have put Vaishu's details in the description, so if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, check her out. She's got some great stuff happening. I'm a big fan of her TikTok. So.
Thank you so much for having me on here. I love this. I love doing this as usual, and I'm very grateful. And thank you everyone for coming on today and joining us and spending time with us and just connecting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all. You are all wonderful, beautiful, divine sparks, and we are so grateful that you joined and to be in your presence. So peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye.
Namaste. We're out. Ciao.